Wild Blue Yonder is coming right up, Connor. Batter up, batter up. It's a new 60th special ready for us to beat the shit out of on the Sunday morning when we're hungover and angry and we hate Doctor Who.
I didn't shit on it and I also wasn't hungover.
Okay, well, I did shit on it and I was hungover.
Yeah, I feel like everyone put us into a box, and I felt like replying to a few people because a few people were like, "You shouldn't have done that," and I replied to a few people being like, "I didn't do that. I went to bed at 10 o'clock."
Oh, so you're the biggest motherfucker that will just turn around. Oh, didn't say the F word. Sorry, monetization.
That's it. We're done.
That'll fix it. You just like, it wasn't me. It was Aiden.
Yeah, well, it was.
It's honestly, but it's not even a.
I had a few drinks. I didn't go crazy.
This guy's always been like this.
I went to bed at 10 o'clock.
God forbid.
Because I knew I'd had to be
God forbid I'm hungover when I watch Doctor Who.
First thing I do when I wake up at 2 o'clock is I see Aiden sending me a Snapchat from a few hours ago of him eating like noodles, completely sloshed. And first thing I thought was,
good noodles.
How is he going to get up and like what kind of state is he going to be in?
Yeah, not a good one. But here's my other rebuttal. And I've said, like, I do apologize for the state that I was in during that. What
did you say?
Podcast.
I believe you said, "What a load of shit."
What a load of shit. But wow. I do also want to say, y'all signed up for this. The tagline of this podcast is "Get on the beers and watch Doctor Who."
No, I agree.
Getting on the beers means sometimes you gotta be a little bit hungover.
No, I agree. And if people don't like it, then they can leave.
You can suck my beep the meep willy.
We're here. Okay,
we are here.
We just say what we want to say. All right,
the point of the podcast.
I think we kind of forgot that we were recording half the time, which is sweet, and it helps with like good conversation. But also, like, we're not. What's that Doctor Who podcast called? The official Doctor Who podcast. And
God.
Yeah, we ain't them. Okay, we're not hired by the BBC. We can say things that we don't like. We're on the INDEPENDE and T-shirt hustling.
Can I just say that is the most contrived podcast. I listened to the full 30 minutes.
Oh, did you listen to all of it?
And just the awkward energy throughout it, where it's like these three people have never been in a room together before, and it's Anyways,
I love Beep the Meep. Me too.
You know, I don't subscribe to pods that are just positive 100% of the time. Like, that's just not.
Well, what do you expect from a podcast that's literally hired from?
I know
the BBC.
I know. I'm not.
It's like Whovians, but all over again.
No, but the thing is, it's like the official Last of Us podcast is great because it's like a host.
Yeah, but it's like they bring the director on, don't they?
Yeah, so it's like this week we're going to talk to the director of this episode. This week we're going to talk to the writer of this episode. And they did it with
Better Call Saul.
Better Call Saul inside the podcast.
Yeah, that's so good. Like, that's nothing wrong with that because they're just talking about making the episode in like a long format podcast.
That's what I want from official Doctor Who podcast, not a contrived thing.
I love Russell, you know I do, but I thought it was really cringe that he called in and was like, "What did you think of my amazing work doing the Dead Name?" And then had to they were like, "Yeah, it was great." It's like, bro, you're really going to call in and be like, talk about how much of a great job I did?
He did drop in a couple of nuggets of wisdom in there. That was cool. He said his inspiration from the TARDIS came from watching Hellbent and Joe Martin's TARDIS.
Hellbent?
Because that's when they brought in the white TARDIS.
Yes. Okay.
And so, because he said, like, in series 12 and all that, like, he was just frothing out the mouth over this white TARDIS and was sat there going, do I like this? Do I not? I don't know. And the other thing he said in that podcast that was really funny, and it's like a great idea. I think the way apparently all the producers turned around was like, nah, you shouldn't do that. But, which I think is right. Apparently, Beep the Meat's reveal was meant to come way earlier. And so when Beep and Rose were in the shed doing that little thing with the toys, apparently...
Be my friend.
Well, yeah.
Be my friend.
To Rose's face, cute. It would be like, be my friend. And then Rose would turn around and be like, I want to fucking eat you. Like, that's what Beep the Meat would say. Like, not that word. But yeah, so it was going to be like this weird, like, to camera thing, which sounds really funny. But I do think that the later reveal does work best, just in terms of the overall story.
Yeah, because I much prefer Beep being cute and cuddly. So cute. Yeah.
Let's play the theme. What we're going to do today, guys, we're going to look ahead to Wild Blue Yonder. We're going to do theories for Wild Blue Yonder, all that sort of thing.
Wild Blue theories.
Wild Blue theories, baby. And we're also going to sort of do a little... We're always going to do a little look back at the start of these theory pods. Where
some call it a retcon.
We're going to look back at the episode... we're going to look back at the Star Beast and just do some thoughts, almost a week on. Okay?
Yeah.
You can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at 50Doctor, on TikTok at 50Doctor Who. Subscribe to the podcast if you haven't already, and we have a little Ko-fi down below if you want to drop us some dollary
Well,
dues.
there's a thanks button. as well. I don't think I've mentioned that. There's a thanks button on every YouTube video. It's like a thanks button.
Wow.
So you can just give like a donation if you feel.
That's cool. All the money at the moment is all going towards upgrading our gear and stuff. So We're not earning a penny. It'll just make us sound a hell of a lot better, baby. Let's get on with the show.
50% podcast.
Did you get fresh cuts?
I did get a fresh cut. Did you?
Nah.
You said you were going to, but you
I
didn't.
did. Did I tell you that as well?
No, it was on the live stream. The 1 minute of your live stream that I watched, you said, I need a haircut. And I thought, but
I had a bit of a bad tummy today, so I couldn't really...
You pulled my tummy out.
He pulled its tummy out. And also didn't help Aiden message me like, you need to come around as soon as possible. And I was like, okay, Jesus.
I did not do that.
So yeah, I couldn't get a haircut.
I politely said, hey man, could you do earlier than usual because I want to get this edited and uploaded tonight.
And I complied.
You did?
Yeah.
But you said you couldn't, and then...
No, I didn't.
We don't need to go into this.
I didn't say I couldn't.
You did.
You said
probably not.
dog.
You've lied.
You're such a lying
Look
dog.
at you. You're a dog.
Look at you getting
you're
called
like
out.
Beat the meat.
What?
Because
How dare you?
To everyone's face, you're like the cute and cuddly one. And then like I shut off the camera and you're like, Aiden, you fucking did this. You can't.
My mum...
to hell with it.
Exhibit C. My mum thought Beat the Meat was a cat.
Meow.
Pussy.
That's what good pussy sounds like.
Bro, this really is an X-ray. Try saying that on the official Doctor Who podcast. See how long we'd last.
What did you think of Beat the Meat? That's
Pussy.
what good pussy sounds like.
That's what I would say. Get me as a guest star on it. You have to be...
Yes, Ross, please.
You have to be censoring it every 2 seconds. So we're going to give our updated thoughts on Star?
Yes. So what we're going to do is, look back on the Star Beast, and we're going to give ourselves a chance to, I guess, retcon our...
There is no we, Aiden.
We had said... I gave it a 6 and you gave it a 7 on Sunday's episode of the pod.
Yeah.
And because we've now had time to sink it in, watch it quite a few more times, we were allowed to go and adjust these things. Sound good?
How many times have you watched it?
I've seen it 4.5, the half being with the commentary. So I need to watch the second half of the commentary. The commentary is great. Oh, God, just because you don't care about Doctor Who as much as me.
I'm laughing at how many times you've watched it.
Oh, because you've watched it. Well, the other day, you were like, I've seen it 5 times. Then on Twitter, you said 6. But then you Snapchatted me like 2 hours after you put up that post being like, I just watched Doctor Who for the 5th time. And I was
Times
like,
a contrast.
This guy.
Yeah, I think I did kind of...
Let me guess, you've watched it like 18 times now, but realistically, you've watched it 3.
I fudged the numbers a little bit. No, I think I've watched it like...
See, this is when I call this fucking dude out.
I came home last night from the pub and I was feeling like really groggy and like just sick. I was like, I'll watch the Star Beast. And I was like watching it and I was like, when you're a bit drunk, you're like really overcritical. I was like, maybe this is not a good time. But I think that was my 7th watch.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Jeez. Yeah. I've had...
Six watches probably in full.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
6.5.
Okay. Well,
7.
Yeah, the weird thing for me is I obviously watched it, as we all know, and really didn't like it the first time. Then I watched it a second time. I was kind of on board with it. Then I watched it a third time, and I sort of hit this middle ground where I was like, okay, no, I like it. But there's also things I don't like. And then that's when I made the little funny YouTube apology video, which, by the way, isn't like a... It wasn't like an apology video.
It was a hit.
That was a bit of a meme.
If anything, it was a hit.
It was. But yeah, and so I was still quite critical of it then, and then I watched it a 4th time and really loved it. I do think the things that I was critical of I still feel. I think it's seriously, I do think a good analogy of this is me and the Bells of St. John, right? Where it's like, when I first watched the Bells of St. John, absolutely hated it. There is so many things wrong with that story, but then over time, you learn to love the little like quirks of it, the little things that didn't quite work.
The snogging booth.
Beans, the snogging booth, all that kind of thing. So I think, and also when you know that certain things don't work, it's less quote unquote offensive when those things do happen. Do you know what I mean? Like the first time you watch the Star Beast and they botch the whole Dr. Donna thing, you're sat there like, my culture has been offended.
Yeah.
Russell has ruined my life. And then you watch it again and you're like, oh, you know what? Doesn't really work, but I'm not going to sit here and sook about it all day, because I did that for an hour of a podcast earlier in the week. So that's enough of that.
Yeah. I think, like, I said this on the live stream yesterday, when I watch Star Beast, like, my brain becomes like Jello. Like, I'm just like, entertainment.
Yeah.
Like, I still don't think I ever will get over how, like, choppy the editing is and just how
The last act.
fast paced it is. Well, even the beginning when the Doctor meets Donna for the first time, it's like it's so quick from like meeting to the spaceship to like Rose's introduction to the scene with like Sean, and like it goes so quickly. And I think they had like little to no time. They had like an hour to do it all. B, the editing was pretty bad, and like C, I just think they had like way too much to do.
Yeah, it's an interesting one because I feel like for me...
I still like it though, by the way.
Yeah, same. Like I genuinely do love watching it now. I think it is a lot of fun of an episode, and I am like genuinely sorry to the episode that I talked so much shit about it on the previous pod. But for me, it is little things like at the start, I never felt like 15 years had passed between these characters.
Yeah.
Like I didn't feel like the Doctor was seeing Donna for the first time in 15 years because it's so quick. And there is like he gives a look, but it's so quick, and you don't get to soak it up. And I do think
a lot of what's.
I do, yeah. Just
what?
The old what line from David.
What? Yeah.
And I do think it would have been great to have seen more of Donna and Rose pre-meeting the Doctor. I think in 60 minutes they did the best they could, but. Call me crazy, right? And this is probably an unpopular opinion, but for me, I think it would have been almost great to do the first 2 specials with Donna not knowing the Doctor, and then the end of the second special is when it all comes together, and she has to Dr. Donna that kind of binary, non-binary stuff, and then the third special is like she's on the brink of death and she's like slowly dying throughout the third special, and then I don't know how it plays out from there, But yeah, just because the reason it was so like offensive, not offensive, you know what I mean, taking the piss. The reason it was so offensive was because these whole specials for me were built around the idea of the meta crisis thing and getting past that. And I just think they did fudge that. And
that's fair to feel that way though.
Yeah. It hurt.
It was so present in marketing.
Yeah.
And trailers, everything. Do you know what's funny? Like the way I would describe like the first scene with the Doctor, me and Donna, it almost felt like a children need skit where they only have like 5 minutes and it's like very quick and there's not really a scene to breathe.
And Murray's like, boom, 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 boom. This is a funny bit. Boom, boom, boom.
Do you get it? Do you get it? It's funny. Like it just felt like a bit of a children need bit where like it was just so choppily edited. When I first watched it, I just couldn't really understand or wrap my head around what was going on. I'm like, can someone help me out here?
Yeah.
Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
But it's super fun. Every time I finish it, I want to rewatch it. Like when
I agree.
When I'm watching it, I love it.
Yeah.
Ish. But then like when I finish it, that's when I start thinking about it more. I'm like,
What sort of brought me around to it a little bit more was I was kind of comparing it to Partners in Crime because I think it's a very similar tone. It's all set at nighttime.
Partners
these characters coming back together again, and I sort of was like, oh, this actually, it was annoying me because I was like, I don't know why this doesn't work for me back then.
I know,
and because it is so similar to Partners in Crime, which I really love, and so over time I have started to appreciate that. I do think the whole thing is Partners in Crime's vibe, and I do love that. It's just like it's if Partners in Crime had the end of Journey's End at the end of Partners in Crime. Do you know what I mean by that? It's you've had 45 minutes of this great adventure, and then the last 15 minutes is this thing that probably shouldn't be happening yet, is happening way too quick, and we don't have time to do it.
I think what upset me as well, and I know you had this, was just seeing the amount of like, not that I'm mad there was positivity, because I think it's great for the episode, but just seeing how many people loved it, and I was like, is there something wrong with me? Like,
I lost my mind.
That made me really upset. And have you showed your parents it yet?
No, I'll see what time we wrap up tonight, and I might see if they're free to watch it tonight.
Get ready for that.
Ooh, I'm sure it's a shitty experience.
My sister rewatched it.
She rewatched it? Wow.
With the bub.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, so I thought that was cool.
Cool, that is cool.
It's I know we're going to get to Wild Blue Yonder, but I will say this. I think we have to remember, like, it is just the first episode. I think the next 2, I think personally, will be a lot stronger.
Yeah.
And I think this will fit in a lot better once the 3 episodes are out.
Yeah, and I think as well that like, we said this 1,000 times now, the thing that really didn't work and what ruined the episode for me was that emotional crutch of the Dr. Donna, I don't think was handled well, but it has been handled with now.
Yeah, it's been dealt with.
It might come back in a little bit in the giggle or something like that, but I don't think Wild Blue Yonder's hardly going to address it. And, but the plot of that has been resolved now. So I do think that that's not going to be a problem going forward.
Yeah, and can I just say one more thing? That that scene in the house, in the noble household, when like the unit soldiers coming in, like the Wrath
great.
Warriors, I fucking love it.
It's awesome.
I really love it.
Yeah.
I think that's like, I think it's fucking sick.
Yeah, there's so much stuff in it.
Really love it.
There's so much stuff in it that's sick. Hey, one thing we didn't mention was, I remember we were talking about that behind the scenes video of David in Camden, and he was swishing through the air, and that's when we said, oh, the Sonic's going to have a like a
I think
screen.
they cut it just because they had no fucking time to
They must
show
have
it.
cut what he was doing there, yeah.
Yeah.
But then that makes me think, I wonder what the full version of that scene looks like.
You'll probably see on the Blu-ray.
Where him and Rose turn around and he starts swiping through the air at the Sonic screen. There is like a longer version of that scene. I think it sucks that it feels so choppy. But hey.
Yeah, that's the thing. I feel like they probably couldn't have gone over an hour just due to it being like a TV episode, and like it's coming back, and like they don't want to like bore the audience being too long.
Yeah.
But I think it might have bit off a bit more than it could chew in some areas. But also, like, when I sit back and look at it, it's like, well, you know, I think they needed a villain. Beep the Meep and the Wrath Warriors was, like, really cool. I'm kind of like, what would you have cut? Like, you know, what could you have... Another thing, though, I'll say this. It's like, you know, when I woke up, I avoided Twitter. What could you have spoiled from this episode?
Nothing.
Like, literally nothing.
I
That's
felt-
what upsets me the most. I'm like, I really want Wild Beyond to be, like, big and bombastic. The idea, like, you're so glad you didn't check Twitter.
Yeah.
Because you just watched it.
I felt
you know?
really bad because one of my mates is like a hardcore Tenet fan, and he's finally got caught up on all of Who in the lead up to the 60th because he stopped watching, I think, in Pete's era. And he's a muso and he tours on a ship. So at the moment, he doesn't have a lot of Wi-Fi and not enough to watch it.
Tours on a ship.
He's a pianist for
Oh,
on a ship. And he was telling me like, oh, you know, I can't wait to watch Wild Blue Yonder. I can't wait to watch like the Star Beast. I can't wait for all the cameos and stuff. And I was like, and he was like, man, if Martha rocks up, and I was just sat there like, I'm not gonna say it doesn't happen because I don't want to spoil. I don't want to be that. I don't want to give him anything because he told me not to tell him anything. But he's got to wait like 2 weeks because I think he said he'll be watching Star Beast and Wild Blue Yonder back to back. So hopefully he gets some cameos in Wild Blue Yonder.
That's the thing. I was rewatching it with Mum, and she was like, "So is Matt Smith gonna come back?" And I was like, "I don't know." It's like, "Is Rose gonna come back?" And I was like, "I don't know." It's like, "What about Martha?" I was like, "Mum, I don't
fucking know, Mum.
I literally don't
Please.
know." I'm like, after this came out, now I think no.
Okay, so
Can I update my score?
let's do it. Let's move on to Wild Blue Yonder in a second. First, Connor,
I'm
me
gonna
a
give it an
score.
8.
You're giving the Star Beast an 8? Mm-hmm. I'm giving it a 7. So,
I think that's kind, and I wouldn't go any further than that.
yeah, no, that's fair. I can totally see an 8. A lot of me like did want to give it a 7.5, but I do think it's choppy in a lot of places.
So we both went up a point.
We both went up a point, yeah. Because everything I felt the first time I watched, I do still feel, but it's just, it doesn't irk me as much. My experience isn't ruined. I think sometimes when you get hyped for stuff and right off the bat there's little things that aren't working for you, I think that hits you and it stings a little bit. And then it was almost like 6 minutes later there was another sting and I hadn't quite recovered from the first sting yet. And all these little stings kept building up throughout the episode. And now it's like they don't sting as much when you watch.
What worries me though is that Russell would have known that, and he still did it anyway.
What do you mean?
Well, he knew how much we cared and theorized about the what's it called, the meta crisis,
I don't know, man.
and it was just a bit pooey.
I'm a male.
You're evil.
You
mean it's something that a male?
I'm a male
something that a male presenting Time Lord would never understand.
I'm a male presenting man, so I just don't get the ending. That's
my
all I can say.
mum and sister laughed at that. So
One for the ladies.
well, it
am I
is. It is a one for the lady. It worked with them.
right? That's how you deal with a big plot point.
I didn't see my dad's face, but I guarantee his eyes rolled so fucking far back he could see his brain.
Every time I watch that scene, I'm like,
Oh, brother.
look, I know men suck, but you don't have to tell me it, okay?
Particularly, I feel like most of the fan base have been very respectful of Jodie. Well, a lot of people like you and me, like,
Yeah.
I think that, we can focus on, like, people hating on her, but it's like a lot of normal people didn't care that it was a girl.
I suppose that's the thing. It's like, I'm,
It's like, why am I getting shit
I couldn't
on?
be like so more like supportive of inclusivity and stuff, and then it's like,
Yeah.
and then it hit me with a major plot point being around the fact that men, and I was like, okay, that felt a little
But
bit.
they did it. I think they did it really well and funny in scenes where like the psychic paper said mistress or something.
Oh, I love that shit.
Like that was funny and it worked.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I saw someone get annoyed on Twitter for the thing we just said.
Yeah.
So get ready for that. But
Look at
it's
us complaining about being men. What a hard life the men have.
But no, I agree with you. I think that we are extremely supportive, and it does kind of just feel like
I just think it's a shitty line. It's a shitty line.
it's a cheap line.
It's cheap.
It's cheap.
It's cheap.
It's a cheap laugh. It doesn't make fucking sense.
Yeah. But then again, how many times do you reckon Moffat's thrown like a cheap jab like that in his era? Like, just like sexualizing a woman, you know?
Yeah, but this is
it's only
this is
fair
Russell
that
T Davies. Like he's meant to be. the
I'll
goat.
happily take this punch. Doesn't make me like it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but
Like,
it's supposed to be like it's supposed to be Russell T Davies.
the good balance. The good. Okay, all right. Let's move on.
Can we talk about Wild Blue Yonder now?
We'll talk about Wild Blue Yonder. Oh, the last thing is very small. We can move on. Wouldn't have been mad if they did these as 3 90-minute specials, and that way you have more time to breathe an episode. Like Star Beast, do a bit of a Sherlock. Connor, you clapped right into your microphone. Do a bit of a, bit of a Sherlock. I understand money is hard to get. I understand, the BBC were probably like, let's do a 60th anniversary. And then Russell was like, let's do 3 of them. And they were like, the money, we don't have it.
They got that Disney budget.
Yeah, but they didn't when they made these specials.
Yeah,
so.
I know. Everyone keeps telling me.
Oh, brother.
You need to know that there wasn't.
I hate comment sections.
Yes. Can the comment section go suck a fucking fat donut?
Honestly. I hate every comment.
Yeah, you
on
said
the
I could
Star
have a
Beast review.
Guinness.
Oh, I never gave you one because you had a Summersby.
Just a crumb, please.
Just a crumb, sir.
Just a crumb.
Just a crumb, sir.
Can I have one, please?
You want to Guinness? Okay, well.
Thank you. Thanks, Daddy.
Connor, I'm going to pour you a Guinness. Whilst I do that, tell me everything you know for a fact. I'm not talking theories or anything. What do we know of a fact about Wild Blue Yonder?
Not much. It's written by Russell.
Yep.
It stars David Tennant and Catherine Tate.
There's your Guinness done.
It's directed by Tom Kingsley.
Tom Kingsley.
Who
My
you
boy.
hate.
Oh, what? I love Tom Kingsley.
Nah, you were saying that shot in the trailer you hate. You hate the camera movement.
Yeah, I don't. It's a little corporate. There you
go.
Yeah, but it's
So-
not the end of the world.
We know there have been some other castings in it, but I don't think it's that important. We know from the Doctor Who magazine that it. Here's the thing. This is what would really fuck me off if there's no one big in it.
Oh my God.
You can't put in the Doctor Who magazine starring redacted, and then blame it on us as the fans for getting angry when it turns out that it's just a normal episode that I waited up to 2 a.m. to watch. I'm not the problem here. Okay? You got an issue with it?
I agree.
Thank you for this, by the way. Sorry for yelling at you.
That's okay.
I was pretending you were the BBC.
Oh, I am the BBC. Yeah, okay. So you were saying Doctor Who magazine, it had 3 names, 3 cast members that had been redacted. They didn't reveal who the cast members were in it. And the thing is, for me, basically what you said, where it's like they've dug themselves a bit of a hole here.
Yeah.
And you've got to hope that it lives up to it. And I think the thing is, if they don't have all those other characters in it, or returning cast members, whatever, and it works really well, and it feels like there is a good reason behind them not revealing the names, then sure, it works. We'll be on board for it. Maybe we won't. Maybe the first time we watch it, we'll be a little bit miffed that there's no Smith or no Caroline Ford. But I also. Yeah, they've dug themselves a hole.
Absolutely.
100%,
If this doesn't work, I'm sorry. I mean, it's a piece of love. I know we're not trying to be negative, but they 100% deserve it. Because all they've done with this fucking episode is hype it up so much. Russell's even said, I don't even want any footage of it released.
Yep.
Come on. If this isn't something big, you can't blame fans for going. I mean, you thought expectations were high for going into Star Beast. Now, luckily, because Star Beast didn't necessarily hit my expectations, now my expectations for Wild Blue Yonder are so much lower.
Yeah, I agree. I'm the same.
I wouldn't even say I'm that even excited for it.
I'm excited.
I mean, I am staying up to watch it live.
I think you're pretty excited if you're doing that.
But, okay, let me rephrase. I believe I'm more nervous. I'm nervous to watch it because I don't want to be let down.
Yeah.
I do want to see giant Matt Smith and giant Peter Capaldi sitting in the giant chairs.
Well, here's
That's
another
one
thing that we know.
Giant chairs, giant comfy chairs.
There is giant chairs in the trailer. They're massive chairs. You can
So it
see
must be
David.
giants.
He's tiny in the chair that he's sat in.
Please don't give me big Matt Smith and big Peter Capaldi. I'll literally scream.
I want that BMC, that big Matt cock.
No, I don't. Can you imagine how bad that will look? They're just big, lanky, like.
Ooh, they're not. We're not going to have giant Matt Smith.
I think there's all Russell keeps saying is how weird the episode is, and
well, we also know. I think this is relatively recent. David Tennant said in an interview that while Blue Yonder was like nuts when he read it and all that, and then he saw like the cast listing for the cast that they wanted for it, and he said it's a very particular cast that they need for it. He didn't really say it in a way that meant Matt Smith, Peter Capaldi. He said it in a way that like these are new characters and they needed like a very specific type of person for it, and he wouldn't say what it was. So like, I don't know. Do you know what I mean? It's really weird.
I'm more under the impression now that Matt and Peter aren't in it. It feels very Russell to not do it, particularly with this new era.
Tom Kingsley, the director, put up a tweet yesterday saying, can't wait for everyone to see the episode. By the way, fans, all your things about Matt Smith and that being in it, it's not true. This isn't an episode about returning characters. We just wanted to keep everything locked down because we thought it would be funner for the plot to unravel that way.
Lies, deception. But what if it's true?
That's the thing.
What if you watch and you go, he wasn't lying?
If Matt Smith is in this episode, I think this is like the best. Like, this is better than Andrew Garfield in Spider-Man.
Oh, they've kept it well.
Because Andrew Garfield, it was one of those things where I think 75%, it was like 75% likely Andrew Garfield was going to be in Spider-Man.
More than
25% that he wasn't going to be.
Grace Randolph was saying for over a year that they were in it.
Yeah, but the thing is, there was no concrete evidence. I know there was leaks.
There was no fair enough.
Yeah, it was like 75% he will be, 25% he won't. And whereas this one, I feel like it's 75% past Doctors won't be in it, 25% they will be. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think
15%?
Where'd you get 15%?
75
to 25.
Fuck me. I'm so bad at math.
No, that's okay, Connor. Just don't try and correct me when I say it.
Cut that bit.
I'm not cutting it.
It's been a long day.
I've already got to cut you talking about BBC.
I didn't say big black
and not
cock.
the British Broadcasting Corporation.
I didn't say that.
Moving on.
Look, I think that just give it to me.
Give it to me, Daddy.
I am getting mad now because I'm like, we've gone through.
What is this, the Starbase
Can we
review?
not just get it for fuck's sake? Why not? What's the big deal?
This guy's
just give
face.
us it.
Give it to me, Daddy.
What's the big deal?
I know even Phil Collinson has been on record and said this isn't a multi-doctor story. We've done that. We didn't think that you needed that again.
Says who?
Yeah.
Who wants that?
Who are you to say that to
You?
me, Phil?
It's been a tradition since the 10th anniversary to bring back old doctors. And I know what Russell's going to say. Well, you got David Tennant.
As we were saying, there is 3 redacted cast members, okay? Mm-hmm. So, obviously the first jump, as we've already talked about, Matt Smith, Peter Capaldi, past Doctors, that kind of thing, right? Mm-hmm. But there's 2 other angles we could go with this, right? Angle 1, Matt Smith, Peter Capaldi, those guys not playing the Doctor. As with, I think, the 40th anniversary of Big Finish do that with Peter Davison, Colin Baker, Sylvester McCoy. They're back for it, but they play different characters. What would be your thoughts on if they did that?
I think that's most likely.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Okay.
I do.
What do you reckon would be the reasoning behind that?
Just some whack shit.
Yeah, okay. just some Wild Blue Yonder shit,
It's like, do we need a reason? It's just some whack shit. Mm-hmm. I think I like the idea of, like, the Doctor, like, seeing Peter and Matt being like, What? Do you not remember me? And they're like, this is all wrong. You must remember me.
I just picture Matt.
I am you.
Matt opens his mouth and he goes, dun 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 dun. That's all he can say.
You can hear that in Starbase. Did you notice that?
I hate that.
I noticed it the first time I watched it.
I hate that they used that there. It felt so. I know it's like for most fans,
Is
it's
it
probably
a tease that Matt's going to be in
No.
Yonder? How do you know?
I know for most fans, it's probably like no one notices. It's only like major Doctor Who fans that pick up on that, especially because it wasn't the main part of I'm the Doctor, right? But it still irks me. The 11th Doctor has a theme. It's his theme.
Technically, the 14th Doctor's already been the 11th, though, so it's still him.
No, but it's like we only got 2 seconds of like the 10th Doctor's theme.
Yeah, but then like Matt Smith's thing, just play the whole fucking thing.
Yeah. Anyways.
They'll play it this week.
Murray's score seems cool in Wild Blue Yonder, by the way. All the scenes they've released, it's like
it sounds really funky.
It's really different for him.
Yeah.
Like Murray's score, you can hear it. I knew that he scored Queer as Folk without even checking the credits. Like it got to like episode 4 and I was like, I should probably check this.
That's the first show they worked on together.
Yeah, maybe.
That
probably,
was.
yeah. Well, it's like 2000. Oh no, it's like 98, 99 or something. Yeah, it's like straight away. You know what Murray's score sounds like. It sounds the same in It's a Sin. It sounds the same in Years and Years. Not a bad thing, but it's also nice to hear him shake it up with Wild Blue Yonder.
Shake it off.
Shake it off.
Okay.
Okay, the other version of these whole redacted name things that I want to pitch to you. What if it's quite big, high caliber celebrities that are in the episode?
Like who?
I don't know.
Throw some names out there.
Maybe I feel
Ryan
like
Gosling.
they'd have to be a little like fan wanky, like people that have said they've wanted to do it for a while, like maybe Whoopi Goldberg.
Whoopi Goldberg!
Yeah, how she's always...
Whoopi Goldberg!
Even like 6 months ago, she was like, at the drop of a hat, I would jump on a Doctor Who, but they just never call me. Was that a good Whoopi Goldberg
That was
impression?
pretty good, actually.
I pride myself on my Whoopi Goldberg impressions.
It's Whoopi Goldberg in the house right now. Are we on The
it's
View right
me.
now? Is this The View?
I'm Whoopi.
Yeah. Yeah, she did say, because they had Neil Patrick Harris on.
Yeah, it was that interview.
Yeah. And she was like, I love Doctor Who.
Yeah.
I love it.
Why haven't they called me to be in Doctor Who yet? Oh, wait, I'm actually in Wild Blue Yonder.
The thing is, like, okay, Whoopi Goldberg, fine, whatever. So we'll put Whoopi Goldberg in there. We'll put in
Mr. Beast.
Mr. Beast.
Let's have our bets.
I'm at the end of the universe.
I survived 60 minutes at the end of the universe.
Are you a Mr. Beast fan?
I actually think there's nothing you can't not like about him. Like he puts so much good into the world. No, but he does. He really does put a lot of money towards good.
Mr. Breast. We'll put...
Okay, so we've got to have 3 here. We've got
Right.
Whoopi Goldberg, Mr. Beast.
You know who I'd love to see in it?
Who?
What's the bear's name? Kami?
Oh, what's his name? It's on the tip of my tongue.
Yeah.
But Kami is the character.
Kami, yeah.
That'd be cool. I don't see it happening, but it would be cool.
You see Whoopi Goldberg and Mr. Beast happening then? And Kami...
Not Kami. That's one step too far.
Kami's too far.
Not
But
Kami.
Whoopi Goldberg and Mr. Beast.
Particularly Mr. Beast. He'll be there in a heartbeat.
I still think it would be disappointing just to have like 3... That's the thing, is like, like the guy who they had in the Children in Need special, like, because we don't live in the UK,
yeah.
we don't really know people like that.
Yeah.
Like, I heard that was everyone was so excited that he was in it. I personally have never heard of him before.
Yeah, look,
But
he had a
if
lot of followers.
If you're in the UK, you'd know him a lot. Know him a lot? Know him well. So I feel like if they do that with Wild Blue Yonder, it's going to be a bit of a lead balloon.
You know what I would love? Whoopi Goldberg, Mr. Beast.
God.
But forget those guys. Genuinely, Michael Sheen. And I know he was in The Doctor's Wife. But Michael Sheen and David Tennant, that's like your Simon Pegg, Nick Frost, right, of TV. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, they've done a few shows together now. They're really great on screen. I feel like I wouldn't be mad if Michael Sheen rocked up in Wild Blue Yonder.
No matter how good it is with anyone, if Matt and Peter aren't in it, people are going to go nuts.
Do you think one of the redacted names could be Ncuti Gatwa?
I think that Ncuti would be good just in the giggle.
You don't want him in Wild Blue Yonder?
It's not like I don't want him in it. I just think that, like, I think it's very hard to get attached to David knowing that he's going to go,
Okay, I see that.
like, next week.
Well, true.
I just got him last week, and now he's going next week. So I want to maybe just enjoy... Not that I'm not excited for it. I mean, he's going to be in the giggle, so I'm like, that's fine. Like, I think I can I think I want to enjoy one last episode of just the Doctor and Donna.
I can see that, and particularly this will be very much. This could feel. I know Starbeast feels like an episode of season 4, but this one in particular, there's no Rose, there's no
like
Sean,
that.
there's nothing like this. Would be just the Doctor and Donna on an adventure that could easily have been in season 4, right?
Slow dialogue scenes.
Ooh, Midnight 2.
I saw
Tonight.
someone on Twitter being like, "What if it's the villain from Midnight?" I'm like, brother, give me a break. Surely not. I keep seeing people as well saying that the Doctor and Donna are going to run into Ruby and Shooty.
No, yeah, I saw
Ridiculous.
that. Ridiculous.
I don't think Millie Gibson had been.
She wasn't cast.
casted yet.
She wasn't cast till September. Announced in November. They finished shooting the
donuts.
specials in
You're so
July,
stupid.
August.
You're so stupid. You donuts.
All right, Connor.
What?
Calm.
Says you on
Calm.
Sunday. Are we switched roles?
We have.
You donuts. You don't know how casting works. Idiots.
I would personally be on board if Shooty is in Wild Blue Yonder, purely because I wouldn't mind if they do the whole. Maybe they deal with the whole "why's his face come back" sort of thing in Wild Blue Yonder, right? And so Shooty might be involved in that, and whether it's Guardians of the Edge, whether it's whatever,
this is the edge of creation.
I wouldn't mind if
Redacted.
Shooty is involved in Wild Blue Yonder, and then that way, in the giggle, Shooty doesn't have to be involved until the very end, and you can have a good 60-minute farewell to DT.
What do you think of? She mentioned Gallifrey.
She mentioned Gallifrey. What are we talking about? What are we?
This was from ages and ages ago when they did those quick 5-second trailers.
Right.
There's a line when David says she mentioned Gallifrey.
True.
And everyone assumed it was going to be about Donna getting her memory back, but it's not.
It's about Susan.
I've heard a lot of Tecteun theories.
Tecteun is not coming back.
Well, the Flux gets mentioned
Ooh.
in it, and
Do you...
Timeless Child.
Well, Russell, this is a good thing to bring up.
Thank you.
Russell did say that Wild Blue Yonder does have a part that is a big reference to the Timeless Child. That's basically all he said. He was like, there is a big thing in Wild Blue Yonder that is connected to the Timeless Child. I don't think it's Tecteun, though. I think that's quite niche.
I think it would be as simple as Donna being like, so, how have you been? And he'd be like, it's all a bit of a mess, Donna. It turns out that I'm got 1,000 faces, maybe more.
That is true, though. We've never seen them catch up. We've not seen them catch up yet.
I think we'll have a scene like that.
So you think she's going to go, how's Gallifrey? And then the doctor's going to go, she mentioned Gallifrey. Like, to camera.
Don't you say that name in here. I think it'll be something simple as that. Like, she'll be like, so you were really a woman? And it was like, and he'll be like, yes. Sorry.
And then she'll go, so why are you a man again?
Sorry. So I wouldn't get emotional. She mentioned Gallifrey.
So dumb.
That's got to be it. It's like, Donna, it turns out that I'm 1,000 more people. You could have seen me in the shops. It could have been me. I don't even know anymore.
Could you picture
It could have been me.
a cliffhanger? I think there's definitely a cliffhanger at the end of Wild Blue Yonder. But what... any theories about what the cliffhanger?
Premiere.
You think it's Neil Patrick Harris? Just that shot of Neil Patrick Harris.
Hello, Doctor.
Hello.
It is me, the Toy
Toy
Maker.
Maker.
Ha ha ha.
I think the most likely thing is the Wild Blue Yonder plot quite contained, gets finished up,
Yes.
get back into the TARDIS, and then just some tease in either maybe Kate phones the TARDIS or something, Doctor answers, and
how do we
Kate's,
fight the human race?
yes, it's like where she's like, oh, everyone's gone mad.
What?
There's part of me that's like, maybe we could see to the extent where the Doctor walks out on the streets that we've seen in the trailer.
Playing. Ooh, I love that.
Yeah, like maybe he walks out. Well, maybe he doesn't get a call from Kate. Maybe he just lands back in Camden.
Because it seems like the same place.
I think so, yeah.
Yes.
Oh no, it was also on Bristol, all that crazy end of the world stuff. So
they can pretend it's...
Maybe it's like he steps... There's no way this is happening in Wild Blue Yonder, but maybe he steps... They go back like, okay, let's take you back to your family. They step outside and it's all chaos. Planes coming down, and he walks out through the streets, and then there, across the fire, is Neil Patrick Harris waving. Boom, ba-dum, boom, ba-dum,
What?
boom, ba-dum. Oh my god.
What?
We don't need the what's again.
What? I'm the toy maker. What?
But I think the most likely thing is Kate's going to call him in or something like that. And then that's it. I don't think we're
Doctor,
going to...
how do we fight the human race? What?
What?
Wait, can we talk about the clip? Which I watched it.
Right,
by
there's
the
a
way.
couple of clips.
Yeah, well, I know it's a bit of a meme on the show that I wake up at 3 a.m. to get a glass of milk.
Yeah, with your balls out and everything.
Yeah, my nuts
out.
were out yesterday.
Yeah, it's summer, I'll let you off.
Swinging.
Don't go that far.
Swinging like
Those
two
nuts
wrecking
aren't
balls.
long enough to swing.
Like two wrecking balls smashing against each other.
Let's move on.
You brought it up.
I actually didn't.
You did. You said naked.
Yeah, and then
it's
you-
hot these
I
days.
said
My fan's
naked.
not working.
I said naked, and then you said, yeah, man, my nuts were swinging.
There's no fan in my room working. Okay.
All right.
Anyway,
Move on,
You
please.
know,
For the love
I'm
of
trying.
Christ. For the love of Christ.
I'm trying.
Try harder.
Okay. No. All right. I woke up at 3 a.m. to get a glass of milk. Okay, and I saw on YouTube that they uploaded a clip. And I
Were you naked?
Yes, I was naked. Stark bollock naked. Balls and all.
Balls like wrecking balls?
Yeah, wrecking balls.
Okay, move on.
And I thought to myself,
Hurry up.
fuck off.
I'm kidding.
I thought to myself, I'll watch it now. And I did. And I was like, this is a good clip. So, Hads gets mentioned, which you called me a moron
Yes.
in the group chat for thinking that that's what the robot's name is.
You thought the little robot in Blue Yonder was called Hands.
But Hads is actually from the classic
Hands.
episode Cold War.
Well, it's from Classic Who. A while back, I think, in Classic Who. And then, yeah, Mark Gaddis brought it back in Cold War.
First of all, the acting in that clip alone, I think we get so... and this is a good thing. We get so desensitized to just how fucking great Catherine and David are that like we don't even bring it up anymore because they're that fucking good.
Yeah.
It's just expected of them
Yep.
to be that great. Them in that scene, particularly Catherine as well, who is just like, you know, she's just a comedy actor.
Yeah.
Like her emotions in that scene were incredible, and I love that he's holding her hand.
Oh,
He's
because
like,
she's actually scared, hey, in that scene.
yeah, he's
yeah.
like, this is what I mean. This is why I'm glad that she knows, and it's going to be like them just catching up, and and I love that you can tell the Doctor has been other versions, like
Because he does
has-
things like that.
exactly,
Yeah.
like he is doing that, and I think that's awesome. And there's a really creepy shot of someone looking through the little thing in the wall. Have you seen the clip?
Yeah, I have, yeah.
You're acting like you haven't. fucking seen
No, I have. I can't really remember
Am I
it.
explaining it to you?
No,
I've only
you're
watched
doing a
it
good
like
job.
20 times.
And there was something like leaking out of that little vent as well.
Matt Smith's fucking jizz, probably.
It's the ganger.
He's that big.
The Matt Smith ganger.
This Matt Smith ganger. Let's go. Get rid of his ganger.
No one knows what happened to the Matt Smith ganger, guys.
He's on the Wild Blue Yonder ship.
He is. Connor, I'm going to adjust the camera and brighten it up in a second. But
Yeah.
whilst I'm doing that, can you tell me the Wild Blue Yonder ship? There's a shot in the trailer that they're walking through a door, and because they're walking through it, it's kind of obscured. But I don't think they're on a TARDIS. But I will give people credit that say that they could be on a TARDIS because it does look like a time rotor. Do you know what I'm talking about? And do you think they are on a TARDIS in Wild Blue Yonder?
I like the idea of Matt Smith, Peter Capaldi gone crazy in like an alternate universe, and they're just living on this TARDIS going mad, and they're evil, wanting to kill the Doctor and Donna. Sure, I'm there for it. I'll be up at 2 a.m. watching it. Probably a few beers deep.
Naked.
I won't be naked. Fucking hell, how many beers do you had? Jesus.
Falling over my chair, mate.
No, I won't be naked. I got a friend over, Daniel.
Does not mean you can't be naked.
It's hot.
So do you think
Right now.
do you think they're on a TARDIS?
You know what I need to do, Aiden? Is not think about it too much. Because I know I'm going to go... I know this is a podcast.
I know, that's what I was gonna say.
Okay, I'll answer your question. I got asked this yesterday. I don't know. I feel like too much speculation is going to make my head implode. I think they've really shot themselves in the foot here with too much speculation and hype, and if it doesn't deliver...
Yeah.
It's scary. Like it's got to be one of the best dang episodes ever. Will it be that? I don't know.
I think it could be. I'm
I
on
hope
board with
so.
it. I actually think it could be.
I'm really scared, Aiden. Like I'm really scared. After Star Beast, I'm like, oof, maybe. Do you know what I thought about this today? This is a really smart and clever way of describing R2D2. Okay, I'll tell you. So you know how you have an artist that you really love, and you love their first couple of albums? That's like Russell for season 1 to 4. And then when they bring out other albums, you don't love them as much. You still love them, but they're not as good as their the older albums. Their first albums, you can still love them, but not as good.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be R2D2.
Could be. I don't know. I'm everything about Shruti looks great, so I'm not going to jump there yet.
R2D2 is like Music of the Spheres.
Coldplay reference.
It's not X and Y, but it's still good. Do you know what I'm saying, Aiden? It's like Wombats, don't fix yourself, fix the world.
I like that album.
But it's not as good as Girl in Tokyo.
Not the title of the album, but I get you. I do. No, I do. Yeah. High five.
I thought about it in the car today.
What? Tokyo?
No. A Girl in Tokyo. No. I thought about the album comparison. I thought it was pretty smart.
Nice. Yeah, well done. Very clever. Very, very clever.
Thank you.
No, I'd love to think that if this doesn't have past Doctors in it, then it's a Midnight-like episode. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's of that caliber. Don't know if it will be, but I'd like to think so.
What if the robot's voiced by like Paul McGann or something?
Oh my god, yeah.
That'd be sick. Like, just
yeah. Well, let's lead on to that. The one thing that we have seen that is not David and Catherine, and I think this is weird. Okay, I got to catch this, so let me run with it. Mm-hmm. In the posters that they did for each special, the one for Wild Blue Yonder shows a little robot guy. Mm-hmm. Okay, weird looking AI looking dude. Looks like he was made in AI. Do you think it's weird though that they have revealed that robot to us in a poster, but still they have not shown a single clip of that robot? Like why wouldn't they? Like if they've revealed it in the poster just to build hype, they might as well show us like a 3-second clip of it in the trailer.
We know its name is Hads.
It's not called Hads.
I'm joking.
You are so
Jeez, Aiden,
small brain.
Give me a bit of a fucking chuckle. You're my co-host.
I'll give you an elbow to this.
You're leaving me dry here. I don't know. What do you want me to say? I think that it's all a big fucking secret. And
who do you think? What do you think this robot is?
A bit of a Wally. You know, a bit of a R2D2.
Yeah.
What's that little fucker from Star Wars Rebels? The one with all the little things coming out of it. Chopper. Like something like that. I think Russell is obviously incredibly inspired by Marvel and Star Wars, which makes me want to yak.
Yeah, I do get that in the Star Wars.
So I'm like, we need to R2D2 of Doctor Who.
Yeah.
And it's voiced by Paul McGann.
Just use K9.
And then, bring back K9. We need K... Is it so much to ask for just for this special? No. Is it so much to ask for just to... I mean, I was talking to Dan yesterday, and he was like, I think all the big cameos would be in the giggle. That could happen.
I don't think so. I think there's too much stuff in the giggle.
I agree. But here's my thing. Like, with Peace and Love to Mel, she's not exactly like the most popular companion ever. Like, I know people are excited for her to come back, but it's like, it's not exactly like the biggest thing ever. Yeah. And, you know, Kate, she didn't really leave.
Yeah, she was in the last step. Like,
exactly.
Yeah.
So, you know, and again, I'm very excited to see... Mel and Kate back, but like it's not exactly like the biggest thing ever to happen.
No.
So are we really just going to go through this whole thing? And I get it, we got Donna and the Doctor back, but we've known about that for over a year now.
Yeah.
If we don't get something in this episode, I think they really have dug themselves a bit of their own grave and shot themselves in the foot.
Yeah.
Because if it doesn't deliver, the first thing people are going to say is, "Why did you bother redacting it all?" And by the way, I hope I'm wrong. I really want to I'm going to watch it live. I'm super excited.
Can I pitch this to you?
Please, pitch away.
We know that Russell went ham at the end of season 4 and he brought all these characters together, that kind of thing. Okay? Yeah. That was like 4 seasons worth of storytelling, yada, yada, yada.
Yada, yada.
Do you think, and especially now that he's going down the Marvel route, do you think that there is a potential that he didn't want to do a Justice League? Okay? Where it's like, we're bringing in all these characters together, but we're doing it right at the start. Because now Justice League is shit because all these characters aren't developed and stuff. Difference is Doctor Who's characters are already developed.
Yeah.
But the same point applies. Like, you don't want to start with Justice League. You want to do, you know, a few seasons and then do Justice League. A few movies, then do Justice League. Yeah. Do you think it's like he didn't want to bring all these Doctors together right at the start of his era? Maybe he has like a bit of a 4-season build and almost has like a Stolen Earth in mind that is a multi-Doctor story to come in 4 or 5 years' time. How would you feel if that was on the cards? We won't be able to address this till in 5 years' time.
I think it's too much too late.
Okay.
I think we're.
You don't want the 64th anniversary special?
I think that we're just fans of a TV show who want to see actors who we love. Like, Matt hasn't been in an episode in what? 10 years? 10 years?
10 years, unless you include Deep Breath.
Deep Breath, yeah. So it's like 9. Peter hasn't been in it for what, 6?
Yeah.
I think like Doctor Who is an incredibly unique show that can bring back actors. It is a tradition for the 60th anniversary, for the anniversary, to bring back actors.
So why not
play Doctors? I think personally it would be a missed opportunity. And like I wouldn't even be mad if they come back and play villains. I think that's a very unique and cool and a super interesting idea that Russell could do. And I think he could do it really well. I could see a lot of people being like thrown back from that and being like, whoa, this is crazy. And Matt has said in the past, I know he said he wanted to play the Master, but I'm not saying they'll play the Master, but like, you know, he said that I would like to come back and play someone else.
Yeah.
I like that idea.
Yeah, that could be fun.
To have Peter play fucking Frobisher in Children of Earth, Calculus in
Maybe he comes back as Calculus.
Someone else in Wild Blue Yonder and the Doctor.
That's crazy.
That's 4 different characters. That would be
nuts.
Oh, by the way, I love how that secret Karen Gillan project everyone thought was Wild Blue Yonder turned out to be The Simpsons.
Correct. Well, we don't know that for sure.
I thought you'd love that.
But it does seem like that was what she was talking about.
I thought you'd love that.
You know me, I love The Simpsons. Just backtracking very briefly. Yeah, I reckon the robot is like almost, it's like, it's not hands. It is like the ship's guide in a way. Like, I reckon it's almost going to be like the tour guide of whatever's going on in Wild Blue Yonder. I reckon that robot is taking them on the journey. So,
do you see it being voiced by a very popular...
I could see it. Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you just get like a celebrity?
Wait for us not to recognise it though, because it's just some British person who's like really popular.
It'll be like, this is Theresa May.
Dylan will be texting us being like, they were in I'm a Celebrity. It's like, I don't watch that. How do you not know them? They were in I'm a Celebrity. They were on Dancing with the Stars. Were they? I'd never seen them.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Let's wrap this up. I want to get a couple of very tiny answers from you, Connor. Very one-word answers.
I'll give very long-winded answers.
I'm sure you will. Yes. Crystal ball predictions, Connor.
Crystal
ball predictions.
Crystal
ball?
Like
I'm rubbing the crystal ball.
Oh, okay.
Okay. One word answer. Yes or no.
Okay.
Is Matt
Can I
Smith...
elaborate a little bit on it?
It's yes
Why
or no.
not?
We've elaborated on all these throughout it. I just want your succinct yes or no answers. Okay? Is Matt Smith in Wild Blue Yonder?
I would say yes.
Is Peter Capaldi in Wild Blue Yonder?
Yes.
Is Ncuti Gatwa in Wild Blue Yonder?
No.
What is in... You can have one sentence, but one short sentence. Don't go on forever.
All right, fuck you. Go on.
What do you want from Wild Blue Yonder? What does Wild Blue Yonder have to do for you to enjoy it?
I want to enjoy being a Doctor Who fan. Next.
Nice. I like that.
Thank you.
No, that's it. That's all my questions.
And what about you? Answer the same ones. So is Matt Smith in it?
No.
Peter Capaldi?
No.
Ncuti?
Yes.
Wow, we're so... Okay, we've completely disagreed.
Yeah, we are.
And what will make you enjoy it?
Matt Smith being it.
Crikey, Charlie.
No, here's the thing.
Can I ask why you think they're not in it?
Because if I think they're in it and they're not in it,
yeah,
I will be so sad.
God, you're so right. I hate it.
Connor, I really do want... Oh, hold on. The camera has cut out. Hold on. 2 seconds.
Life is hard enough.
Connor, I'm not saying anything original here. Mm-hmm. Like you, like so many other people in the Doctor Who fandom, I want nothing more than to see Matt Smith on my screen again.
What about Peter?
Peter's my favourite Doctor. I'd love to see him back again, but I think it's more likely we'll see Matt. If Matt Smith isn't in it, then Peter Capaldi isn't in it. Put it that way. And I guess Matt is slightly longer ago. So I think it'll be like... And I think Matt's a little bit more attached to my childhood as well. Even though Pete's my favourite Doctor, Matt is like a little bit more nostalgic for me than Peter's. So I'd love to see Matt in there. I fucking would. But I'm going in with all the stuff them saying that he's not in it. I'm going to believe them. I'm going in with him not being...
I think that's a good way of going into it.
And if he is in it, fucking amazing. But I'm going in genuinely thinking he's not in it.
Will you be upset if he's not?
It depends what swings they pull with these redacted cast members, okay?
I just want to watch Doctor Who Unleashed and hear Russell be like, of course we were going to put in Matt and Peter.
It's the greatest lie of all time.
I can't wait to see that. Just be like, of course we were going to do it.
It's interesting, like, you know, I never bring the fact up that I'm reading the Writer's Tale. Never talk about it. Right?
What's the Writer's Tale?
Don't know.
Okay.
I actually don't know. No, it's obviously it's the book that Russell sort of, I guess, wrote in a way.
He finished, hey?
I'm almost finished. It's basically a book chronological
order.
No, that's not what I'm trying to say. But it's basically a book that summarizes the production from Voyage of the Damned through to the end of time. Okay? And this guy, the secrets that they pulled, the way they deal with the press when the press gets a hint of something, the whole...
Were they not worried about email hackers?
That stuff, yeah, was all going on back then. But then the big one that they finally pulled off in what I just read is that they were keeping David's announcement of leaving the show so on lockdown. But then there was this whole sort of thing, because you know how he announced at the... It
was some theatre thing, wasn't it?
The National Television Awards.
Yeah, that was it.
But he couldn't attend the awards, David couldn't, because...
He had to record a video message, wasn't it?
So it was live. So... So National Television Awards, David Tennant and Catherine Tate were both up for it in the same category for Best Actor. And there was a few other people up for it, of course. David couldn't attend because he was off doing, I think was it Hamlet? I think he was doing. And so they had to pre-record. No, fucking hell, I've really butchered this.
They had to record live.
They had to do a live thing for it. But there was all these things about who they could tell. And they had to time it up with the intermission of Hamlet for him to be able to come out, do that speech.
So it was mid-play?
So many cogs in play for this thing.
What the fuck?
And they couldn't tell anyone. There was only a handful of people that knew that David was leaving. And even the National Television Awards people, Russell told them a few weeks out purely because he was like, I'm a producer. I know how much it will fuck them up if this happens and we haven't told them, because it could go on forever. It could fuck up the whole schedule for the evening. So he had to tell them. But then, like, there was so many little things. Like, he pre-recorded an interview with this TV show that was going to come out, like, the day after David got announced. And he felt so bad going into it because he was like, I can't tell them on that. It's going to feel so dated when that interview comes out afterwards and no one asks about David leaving. So there were so many secrets, and, like, it was just one of those things when they got to the National Television Awards. Apparently, I think it was Jackie, Mickey, and Sarah Jane were there. I don't know why I referred to them as their character names, but that's okay. And apparently they sat there, and that's when Russell told them, like, right at the start of the awards, he told them. So they
was it really a big, like...
It was a huge secret.
No, why was it such a big deal? Because, like, he had done 3 seasons. Like, did people really think he was going to stay? Was it really a big thing?
We didn't know. There was no precedent by this point of how New Who was going to go.
But I remember when he said he wasn't... I remember being told and reading that he was leaving. I remember that. Like, I was there.
Yeah.
I was literally there. And it was nuts. I was like, oh, God.
That's the thing. It was like this crazy secret. So part of me thinks...
when Matt got announced.
Russell,
that's how fucking old I am.
Russell loves all this secret shit. And so I do think there's a chance he's pulling it. But I don't know.
Do you hear how Hackard stole season 9 soundtrack from Murray?
I did read that, yeah.
Isn't that insane?
Yeah. And
it's
that's why Murray's
like... He just took it out of me.
Murray's like, can't be bothered doing Series 10 now.
Yeah, he's like...
If hackers are just going to steal it, then what's the fucking point?
He just took it out of me. I love
Some guy was really like, I need the Series 9 soundtrack now!
I love how, like, that's so funny. Like, hackers steal. That's how great his work is. Hackers stole the soundtrack.
It's a compliment.
It is a compliment. So, Wild Blue
Yonder, I'm excited.
See you on Sunday.
It'll be a little bit of a slightly more delayed review because, yeah, I'm out of town at a wedding, so I'll be driving up the day while Blue Yonder comes out. I'll be driving back up.
Works perfectly because I was going to start to watch this episode anyway, which means I get a lie in because the episode will finish at like 3:30. So that means that I can stay up, have a few beers, and see you at 1 o'clock. I will say this though, because this is going up tonight. There will be a live stream with the fans to talk about predictions, hosted by yours truly.
Wow. Cool. Is that what, on Friday?
I'll do that on Saturday.
Cool. Sounds good to
I did one for Starbase. I'm going to do one for Blue Yonder, one for Giggle, one for Church on Ruby Road.
Cool.
And I always do after streams, episode discussions.
All right.
So,
We are losing light like crazy here with the sun, Connor.
sorry, am I boring everyone?
No, you're cool.
Just giving them the video schedule, Aiden.
No, that's good. It's important. It's important. All right, let's wrap things up. So good to have Doctor Who back. So glad that I'm finally enjoying it as well. I'm not a salty bugger anymore.
Your hands are cold and warm. It's weird. No.
My personality.
No.
So good to have Doctor Who finally on the Disney Plus banner. The main banner. It came up like 3 days
don't
late.
Get me started on that.
But it was the #1 banner now. Awesome stuff. All right, guys. See you on Wild Blue Yonder on Sunday.
See you on the live stream. Bye-bye.
Let's go.